What's going on YouTube? GSN right here. So in today's video we're discussing about a very important report from the Google Project Zero about devices being compromised with kernel exploits by various third parties with access to those exploits, and yours might be one of the devices that has been compromised. So it's a very good idea to get into this so that you know what's going on. Now, I first learned about this report by Google Project Zero from Jonathan Levin. He posted, quote, "Wow," and he posted the link in here, and he said, quote, "Amazing analysis by Jan Beer, must read." And when I opened the article, lo and behold, it's a complete write-up about 5 different exploit chains that have been used in the public before by hacked websites that were actually trying to steal your data from your device regardless of who you are. So please keep in mind that these were not targeted attacks for various individuals that are known in the community or political parties and so on. You don't have to be an important person in the community, or you don't have to be a public figure in order to be targeted by this. It was basically anybody who opened a malicious website, and they were actually having quite a lot of visitors. The Google Project Zero article says in here, quote, "We estimate that the site receives thousands of visitors per week." So quite a problem in here. So yeah, you could definitely be one of the victims. Now, what Google Project Zero discovered is that basically from iOS 10 to iOS 12, there were constant attacks by exploiting various vulnerabilities in the iOS kernel, and they were using various WebKit exploits to basically start their whole chain. So you would get to one of the infected websites and you would basically go about your day, but in the background, your device would be vulnerable to a kernel exploit that would be exploited by the application in the background, and they would install basically an implant on your device, which happened in 5 different occasions for 5 different iOS version ranges. So basically they started on iOS 10, it was patched, they continued on 10 point something, it was patched again by Apple, they found a different vulnerability, exploited on iOS 11 and continued and so on, all the way up to iOS 12. So people have been in a constant attack if they use this kind of malicious platforms since iOS 10, so basically for years now. And they go ahead and explain every single vulnerability in here, most of which are vulnerabilities we do know, that were used actually in jailbreaks and so, voucher related vulnerabilities and so on. But these are fully fledged kernel vulnerabilities that could be used for a jailbreak and have been used for a jailbreak, but they were silently used by malicious third parties in order to basically collect anything from your device. But what could they actually collect? Well, absolutely anything. According to the Google Project Zero in here, they took the implant application that was dropped by the exploit when you accessed such a website, and they basically reverse engineered it and discovered that your WhatsApp data would be stolen, your conversations and everything, the Telegram data, the iMessage, the Hangouts, your contacts, your emails from Gmail, your everything, your photos and your videos, and even your real-time GPS location. So basically absolutely anything that could be taken from that device, including your keychain, which contains important credentials to access various Google services and so on. For example, various API keys or session IDs or passwords for Wi-Fi networks and so on. So basically absolutely anything that could be stolen that represents your personal information was actually stolen by this if you were infected. So things were working like this. You would go basically to a website that had the exploit in it, and without your knowledge, it would basically trigger the kernel exploit and install an application on your device, just a command line application. And that application is taken apart in here, and you can see what it can do. It can request your location, contacts, call history, messages, notes, application list, keychain, recordings, SMS attachments, mail, and so on, and upload all of this without your knowledge to the server that controls the application. So basically they were stealing all your data if you were to get infected with this. And as if that wasn't enough, the application would also collect the name of your device, the ICC ID, which is basically the unique ID of the SIM card used to identify the SIM card, your IMEI number, which identifies your device in a network, your serial number of your device, your phone number, the version you are running, the total disk space, and the free disk space. So this application was basically collecting any piece of personal information from the victim's device, which was actually running in the background and was only caught now. But malicious parties were using this since iOS 10 in order to basically get information from various devices, no matter who you are or whether you are a public figure or not. They would basically get all your data if you were to access that. They had no filter in place to say, yeah, this is a normal person, we don't need their information. Nope, you accessed the website, you got hacked, and all your data was transferred. And keep this in mind, all the data was transferred in a non-secure way. No HTTPS, no symmetric or asymmetric encryption whatsoever. Plain text data sent over HTTP. So your networks would know all your data, your public Wi-Fi would know anything, and any other hops in the network between you and the server this data was sent to would know that information if they wanted to. Now, Jonathan Levin added this, put things in perspective, these aren't new 0 days. They have all been patched over time, hence why 5 different chains used. Apple actually strives for security and privacy, and others make a business from flouting the latter. So basically, these aren't new exploits or anything, but they were exploits that were new at the time, probably even before we knew them in the jailbreak community, and they were used to basically get data from any vulnerable device. And if you were running that specific version, which most of the people had at that time, then you were basically very vulnerable to go on a website like this without knowing and have that piece of malware installed on your iPhone and therefore get all your data stolen. So again, the moral of the story, do not access any websites that you do not trust, and do not go on any, piracy related or anything dangerous websites, because those usually are sketchy and may contain this kind of code. And yeah, if you are interested in the security of your device, always stay on the latest version. It has the least known bugs and the least available exploits. For the older versions, these have publicly available exploits and bugs which can be easily used in a scenario like this and have been used, as you can see from here, for years. So yeah, thank you for watching. I am GeoSnow. Till next time, stay safe and peace out.